No idea if anyone will actually be able to hear this or not. My watch's last night shift, we're going to get our heads down below. And we're heading for City's TS. Exclusion is so we are just aiming for that TSS. Once we get there, our angle will change and we'll probably be going from the split. So visual out. Foggy, wet, cold. The winds will move, so the sea state is only going to get worse from here on in. But sort of the last 24 hours-ish racing. So getting ready to get soaked, keep hiking out and try the make as many minutes as we can. Certainly gets quite noisy down here. At the moment the engine on, which is just over there, and we're on the code 0, so you can hear all the winches every time someone's grinding or adjusting something. Anytime anyone moves on deck it sounds like a herd of elephants, so but managed to sleep through it. I guess that speaks for sleep deprivation. And yeah, just turn the water maker on because we're getting down to our last 100 litres of water, so 24 hours to go. It would be quite nice if we had something to drink and make dehydrated meals with, so that's what we're up to now. And then I'm probably going to go back for another hour's sleep until it's time for our watch and again. So yeah, but we're on the code 0 now. We're just approaching probably not 2 hours actually, off the north and south, the southwest corner of the TSS. That makes sense. I'm sleeping well. So yeah, we're on our way to the southwest corner of the TSS, and that was the point where we were probably going to chop and change to a kite. But we've changed. We were thinking that we might be on the jib all the way to that point, but the weather is picking up for the third time on this trip. So it's going to be somewhere in between what we saw in the first 12 hours out of the Solent and along the south coast of the UK, and somewhere in between what we saw when we started heading across the Celtic Sea a couple of days ago. So the difference I guess this time is we're not going to be sort of on the jib going upwind into it. We are probably going to be on the spinnaker going downwind. So I think it's going to possibly be quite feisty next 24 hours, but we're really trying to give it everything we can because we're quite hot on the tails. Well, let me rephrase that. Last time that we had the signal and were able to check sort of our positions, we were placing third in IRC 2A, and a couple of our competitors are, well, now they've just been in the AIS, but we were very close to them. So we're just racing as hard as we can to see if we can actually keep that third position. I don't think we've got much of a chance maybe of getting more than that, given who the leaders are at the moment, but it would be quite nice if we could get third place. And it's going to be interesting because we've taken whereas we've gone south. And so they've got slightly more water to sail, but it might work to their advantage with wind shifts. So I guess once we get to Bishop's Rock, which you've got to leave to port, and that's just off the Scilly Isles, I guess once we're there we'll have a better idea of how those strategies played out for each of us. But that's a couple of hours time. We've got, what, less than 24 hours, hopefully, until the end of the Fastnet?
Yeah, it's been all kinds of weather, like honestly, torrential rain, waves so big, but yesterday was lovely when we finally rounded the rock. We had a little bit of celebratory run around the rock, and yes, it's been a glorious day. Put all the kit outside, dried a little bit, definitely a morale booster, and today we're expecting a storm. So myself and Alex were just like getting all the snacks ready on the go.
You can tell our priority.
We are not boiling a kettle, like being that yielded over. So yeah, it's actually, can't believe 24 hours and then we're done with this, but really looking forward to arriving Sherbrooke as well.
So you mentioned, I guess, your highest moment, I imagine, from rounding the rock. What has been the lowest moment so far?
Yeah, I think I've never been prepared for that first day, the start day. It's been like literally we were all bumping everywhere and everyone has bruises, like in places we don't even know. So, and I think we're all, even though we have our Scotland patches, we also, everyone had a little bit of seasickness.
I think you missed out the bit where you may have broken your rib from slamming into the chart table.
I mean, that was just like, honestly, everyone was falling around and I tried to go back on deck and I like fell solidly into the chart table. So it's a bit sore, but near fence for the win. So yes, we're getting there and we're doing this. We're literally doing the Fastnet.
And what has been your favourite part of the course?
Definitely rounding the rock was my favorite. Like, yeah. I mean, especially like being able to see it from so far ahead, and all the dolphins. Like every time we're doing a sail change, there's dolphins. So dolphin distraction. But they went back and we're doing. But yes, it's been lovely seeing all the wildlife. So many birds out there. I'm just like surprised by the color of the water as well. It's like this grey, definitely a Celtic Ocean. Looks very different to anywhere I've been. So yes, Cornwall also, when we got to Land's End, it was really pretty and just nice to sail there. So yes, lots of lows, lots of highs. But really enjoying it.